So this is our first forum with the new committee. Ray, would you like to come and have a word? Ray's our editor.
And for me, the change of venue for the printer was excellent. It was originally printed up in Katoomba, but now I have it just around the corner at Long Beach. He's a retired printer, and he has a whole printing works in his garage. And
another thing we're releasing, which probably won't be till after the exhibition in May, will be a nickel silver D-Wagon kit. Now,
good morning everybody. We've got a new MLV kit, the T flat wagon, and we've got the CCH and LCH hopper wagons. We've also got some models down there of kits that will be coming shortly, which is the ABV and the CV. And also in the pipeline is a MHG guards van, and using our E-flat chassis, we're also doing CHO guards van.
Case of me doing what I should have from day one, but just relying on blind faith and eyeballing things. So that led me to see what other people were doing and how they avoided making the same mistakes that I kept on making myself. Hopefully one or two are not master loco builders, and you can get something from it. If you want one, I'd suggest getting in touch with them sooner than later. If that comes back on, then I'd suggest probably either will be really good.
The inspiration for the scene came from a picture of from the artist Darcy Doyle. I always liked the photo. I always liked his art. What he did, he used a lot of the jacarandas and big cumulus clouds in the background, storm approaching, that type of thing. A lot of character in the pictures, and that's why I tried to capture here. Okay, next one. Yep. The backdrop, if you can see right in the background there, that was just a happy shot I took many years ago, and I thought, yeah, that might work in as a background somewhere along the line. So, which it is. It's off the main street at Wollongong, out the back of Cessna, where the famous Dr. Jerd's jungle juice comes from. And the jacarandas I made the actual purple foam, because you can't get purple foam anywhere, and just put that on the top, and it gives the effect. They're not great trees by any means. There's far better trees. People can do better ones than that, but they were all right. They were the best I could do at the time. Okay, next. Okay, yeah, okay. The buildings, these two buildings. The prototype was out there at YE, and as luck would have it, I photographed them, and about no more than a month later, I pulled them down.
Oh, there's a lot of people not doing things. No,
When you paint the drum, and because the holes in the drum will be those station lamps are a pain to put a whole thing in there and cut off both ends and you end up with a piece of
Alright, prototype details that can make your models more realistic. So, underside of your vehicles, different types of four-wheel stock, what can you see? What comes in the kit? Is it realistic? Not just a brake wheel or the brake blocks, basic how the brakes actually work, and is it actually worth adding all the detail? Basically, when you look from the side of any New South Wales four-wheel rolling stock, it basically all looks the same. Got a set of four wheels, springs, and a set of brake blocks generally hanging off the outside. And you would assume that all the parts are generic. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And thinking about it, you would think they were fairly well manufactured items, but most of them are just like you've gone to the spare parts box on your workbench where you've cut off a bit of wire, and then, oh, I'll use that for something else. Half the stuff under a New South Wales bit of rolling stock actually looks like that. Yeah, so looking at that photo there, you really can't see a lot of what's under the wagon. You can see the brake blocks and the brake cylinder, and that's about it. What's in that kit in your cardboard box in the cupboard? Here's a couple of ones that I pulled out of my cupboard, and not a real lot. So you get a set of brake blocks, usually in resin, a couple of castings, one set of castings there with your spider wheels and the bracket that holds them, an air hose, still the same light duty hangers. Now, the S-Trucks we all consider a fairly light duty wagon, however they actually do have a much heavier braking mechanism. It all lays off to one side and has these quite solid brackets which they lay against instead of being straight down the centre of the wagon.
In April. I want to cover some of the new stuff, things that you might have missed, and also to spend a bit of time on Blue Army. Now, something a little different, perhaps not in the area that we normally look at in models. Well, that's not the model, of course, that's the real thing, but a model of that, which is just available. The Sydney L or P-type tram in O scale, it's exactly the scale we're modelling in. It's 3D printed, and it's a very fine quality print. Now, one of the problems some of us face, and some people have said to me, well, that's all very nice, I like what you've done, but I don't know, I haven't got enough room, how do I do it, where do I start, all the rest of it. And we're often looking for clues on places to start. Now, there's somewhere that I've found quite recently, which I hadn't stumbled on before, even though I had seen its predecessor many years ago. Micromodelingrailwaydispatch.com, that's a bit of a long word, but you probably can easily remember it. Well worth looking at it, American site, which pulls together a great deal of information on micro layouts. Very much the sort of thing that Stephen's been talking about before. Micro layouts, and they put out a regular online-only magazine called The Dispatch. And you can go online and you can download any one of these particular issues, they're free. So it's Micro Modelling Railway Dispatch, all one word. And each of these copies of their journal, which are available there, are about 80 pages. I'll give you some idea of what's in them. This is the sort of stuff that's in them. Quite detailed articles on the idea, how to put it together, over multiple pages and in a whole range of scales. They cover anything from N scale up to G, and occasionally even larger than that. So there's plenty of O scale ideas. Let's have a look at what it provides. It's a fairly standard configuration at 2 amp stall current, has 6 functions, which means you can easily cover the head and rear lights and independent red and white lights. What are the minimum things you need for a new small layout using this decoder? I'm going to demonstrate it in a moment, but we'll stick to the screen just for the moment. This is what the app looks like, and to connect, the app really does make it so much easier to program. You can forget all the detailed instructions about changing CVs. For what it's worth, as my recommendation, it really is a game changer. Thank you.
Great.